Welcome to a new episode of Triggre Weekend Masterclass, and in this episode I'm going to explain you something about creating logs regarding your interfacing. So what you might do is create an interface with another application from your own application. And what I always advise is to create a log with all the data that you send to the other application, so that you can do error handling or other stuff later on in time. So there's always a point in time where you would like to know exactly what has been sent to the other application. And if you haven't created a log for yourself, that's going to be a little bit of a hassle to retrieve. But what's always also important is that in that log, you don't use references, because the reference or the data underlying in the reference can be changed. So you actually want to show the information that has been sent, the actual values. So how will that look? Well, we have a VAT checker here, and if I would click on add and I would add a new company, for instance Triggre, with this VAT number, and click done, I send that VAT number to a specific interface. And I would like to log that. So what I have here is I've created a page called Log API VAT Check, and it shows when I've made the request, the VAT number itself, which I sent to that application, the company name, and if the response of the interface was valid, yes or no. And to make the reference a little bit more easier, I did make a reference to the company it's linked to. So you can always later on check, like, hey, we made this request. Back then the company name was Triggre, but apparently somebody changed it to, for instance, Acne. But this was the initial check that we ever did. And that's the important thing in this case. So you need to know when and what you send to the interface. Well, let me show you now how you can create that in the designer. So we've got the flow part, which checks the API, which checks the VAT at the API. And what you see here is we make the check, and after that we create the interface log. Well, of course, we already made a data item for that. And in that data item log, we already store a few items, which is the company name, the reference to the initial company ID, when we made the request, and what the actual VAT number is. And what you see here is that the company name and the VAT number are both texts. So those are the items that we actually send to the interface. We leave that one blank right now because we don't know the response yet. It could be false, could be true. So we create the interface log, and when the status code is 200, we save the valid result. So in this case, we go back to the interface log that we created over here, and we state if the response is valid, yes or no. And this way you can easily check what you sent and what the response was after, I don't know, a week, a month, a year, doesn't matter. Hey, like and subscribe our videos. Oh wait, our channels. Wait, you like the video and you subscribe to the channel.